can't talk right now. Listen, beautiful, I gotta go. All right? All right. So 6:30 we on, okay? All right, babe. Bye-bye. Oh, boy. Okay, sir. Ah,
Sorry about the time. I had no idea I had a meeting today.
why you didn't know?
I, I got to work, got on the floor. I had to open up my email. Right around the time Laura checked you, and that's when I saw I was released. It had me got no idea where it was at. Anything. No one told me anything.
Wow. Laura should have told you. She's the one who set up the meeting
Okay.
and got you released. But she been busy. I ain't
I
know.
know.
We all been busy, to
I
be
know.
honest with you. But that doesn't mean, so I apologize
Yeah.
for that, okay?
No, I was apologizing for my lateness because I know you guys, like I said, everyone's
You're good.
busy.
Okay? No worries on that. So, I'm here to meet with you because there were some issues, and I keep hearing your name from the organizers, and that Laura had a good intervention meeting with you and Mr. LaBaca, and she says it was quite productive, and she wanted to end it on a good note by having you meet with the VP. I don't know if my EVP is going to make it in here today. She's here today, but I don't want to hold you up either. So my name is Stacy Gray. I'm the new Vice President in the area. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
So I wanted to know, what exactly is it that you want me to be reminded of? And what exactly is it that we need moving forward? And what is now still outstanding? Okay? So the floor is yours. So,
To be honest with you, I know she wanted me to like to let you guys know what's going on. I don't know if she told you what my issue was with the institution with NYU and everything that was going on.
so she gave me some synopsis. She did that there was a past history here, and that you had made several complaints of concern on your behalf. I feel as if they tried to ignore it. When Laura intervened and finally had the conversation with you and Mr. LaBaca, that's when things started favorably moving forward, because you needed to be heard and addressed based on what you've been complaining about, and they're acting like they don't know what you're talking about, or as if you're a problematic person and they don't want to deal with you. That's what I am of the dialogue from what I've been hearing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think that's pretty accurate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it ended, and from the time you went with LaBarker until now, what's going on?
It's basically the same thing. They're still, and the thing is that it's kind of submersive. You know, they the little things that they say, like when I got my review. When Jose responded, he said that the review was favorable, but I screenshotted it and took a screenshot to send to her and him, because it's the things that are put in the review. They're lying in the review, and you can ask any of the staff. Like they say that I'm leaving for break early and coming back late. Well, if this is the case, then you're telling me that I'm still in time. Why is there no corrective action? And it's not happening, but why are you putting it in my review? Just like the things with the hydroculators, where they're like, you know, you were spoke to about the hydroculators, but what they're not saying is that they chose to change the date. So when they changed the date, the book was never updated.
Your evaluation was done when?
3 weeks ago.
In October?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a copy of it?
With me, no.
Did you sign it?
No.
Did you have a one-on-one conversation over your evaluation?
Yes, with the manager and Debbie Newman, the director.
So you did have a meeting over your, okay, all right.
Yes, ma'am.
In October, toward the end,
Yeah,
right?
the end of the month.
And you had a meeting, and what's the manager who you met with?
Was Jennifer Gallinaro is the manager.
Jennifer?
Mm-hmm.
What's the last name?
Gallinaro.
How you spell that? You know?
Gallinaro.
Thank you.
No
I'm not great with names at all. All right, so that was the only person?
And Debbie Newman, which is the director.
Newman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
They were all part of the ones that I've been having issues with the whole time.
how long you been there?
Since they opened. About 12, 10, 13 years. Between.
What area do you work in, sir?
PTOT. Rust. On the 5th floor.
What's your title?
I'm a rehabilitator.
Okay. Okay. All right, now. Your date of hire?
2010.
Okay. That's good.
October 2010.
Okay. Oh, you're an October guy. So. All right. So you had an evaluation done in October. You met with these two individuals, and what did your evaluation look like? I heard you say that there was some indiscretions in it.
Like I said, like in the notations, they'll put that like they've had conversations with me and that I don't interact with my coworkers well, which is not true. That my tone is always wrong, and I've tried to explain to them time and time again. There's nothing wrong with my tone. They just don't like the fact that when they're doing things that are against the law, that I finally put my foot down and I'm telling them I'm not tolerating it anymore. And every time I try to have conversations with them, they always tell me that either it's not the right time or we're not talking about that. And then we even tried to set up meetings with them, with my delegate, which she sent out an email asking when would be the right time, to which they never respond. So it's like every time I try to have conversations with them to even explain to them what's been going on and what they're doing, because they say they're not doing anything, they act like they can't see it. And for me, it became an issue because every time I'm reaching out trying to tell people what's going on, everyone's telling me that I'm tweaking and I'm bugging out, and I'm like, I'm not. And I had to go to the lengths and the degree that I had to go to just to prove what these people were doing. And even now, like,
When you say what they doing, so what are they doing that you're still trying to get a meeting on?
well, no, I was saying I know they're not gonna do anything because with the letter Jose said, he when I read the letter, it basically says that they see that there's an issue and they understand it wasn't handled correctly, but the case is closed.
Okay.
So it's basically done.
Okay.
So
Moving forward.
all I've
That
been
was
asking
done.
them is let me come in, I do my job, I don't bother anybody, just leave me alone. But when they're setting these false narratives and they're putting things in my review or they're putting things on paper that aren't true, like you're trying to set a narrative, like Laura will tell you when we had the meeting with Jose, Debbie put in there that during the meeting I took out my laptop and I was waving it in the air as if I'm being aggressive. And these are the type of things that they're doing. That's why if I knew I was meeting you today, I would have brought these things so that you could actually read them. Because when we had the meeting, she'll tell you I had the list of the emails, I have all the stuff. I've got all the
Laura has it as well, does she not?
Yeah, she should have some of the emails from the last meeting. She doesn't have the audio though.
Sorry.
No.
You just clip that.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't do that when I'm talking to people. Then people don't think I'm doing active listening.
No.
Right now, you're of value, not that phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
So that's the main thing that I'm trying to explain to them, because like when I first, like after COVID, when I came back, I took personal time off and I went to take the class for pharmacy tech. And so you know, I took the test. I missed about one question, but when I'm going through with this, so then they would put me on the final. So you know, after that you can't transfer for a month. But then during my review,
You were put on a final for what? Time and attendance?
yes, it's time and attendance. But even with that, I don't know if Laura told you, when they took the time and attendance, there was an issue with the time. They were having an issue with the system. And it basically dumped everyone's time. So everyone's time was incorrect. Even when I came back and I said to them, it's on the recording, I'm like, but if there was an issue with the time, because when I came back, I was negative like 49 hours. So I'm asking them, I was out on disability. I'm not here to use the time. Where was my time at? And all they kept saying was, you used it. And I said, okay, but if I used it, how did it go negative? I now have negative 49 hours, and you're telling me there's a glitch in the system, but no one's telling me where my time is at. And it went negative, and he's like, well, it went negative because you used it. I'm like, but if it went negative, someone had to approve that. I was like if I go to a bank and try to take money out the ATM, if I don't have $20 in the bank to take it out, it's going to decline it unless someone on the back end approves it. I'm like, so you're telling me I don't have time, and then you're continuing to take it, and now you're sitting here trying to write me up for being late for a mistake that wasn't made. And they said, you know what? They literally said, and Jose listened to that recording too. Oh, you're right. We didn't check it. We didn't do an investigation, but it still stands. And these are the type of things that they're doing on and on. And then you'll have my review, and then you'll ask me after you know you just put me on a final, or you just gave me a 2 on my review. Oh, so you still want to transfer out of here? Like, you know I'm not transferring anywhere. But it's the little condescending things like that. Like, I wish, if I knew I had the means, I would have brought the things so that you could just hear them for yourself. Instead of me telling you, because when you hear it, you fully understand it. Like, Laura's heard a couple of them that day. But I've got hours of this stuff. Them telling me that the rules don't apply to me. And I'll follow protocol, but you pull me in the office and tell me you're writing me up. But I'm the only one following protocol. And then the other people on staff that aren't following the protocol, when I point that out.
Why are you pointing out what somebody else ain't doing?
No,
Why
because
you're not only just worried about your universe?
no, that's exactly what I am doing. But when I'm following the protocol, they're telling me what XYZ is done. And I tell them I did up to XYZ. Once I do that, those duties now are passed on to someone else. But when they drop the ball, they're coming to me to find out why. That's why I'm bringing up someone else. Because I did what you asked of me, and I followed the rules to a T. This is where the break happened. You need to go there and find out why they didn't do it. I can't answer these questions for them. But these are the things that they do.
So, okay. Let me ask you one more thing before I move on to another subject for you. Your evaluation, did you write a rebuttal?
Yes. I sent it, I emailed it to Jose, and then I sent it in.
Okay. Laura is really not your organizer, right? It's Evelyn, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I went to her before it even got to this point. Because I used to be a delegate, and I came in under her. That's why I went to her first. She never would respond. I wouldn't return emails. My delegate reached same thing, because that's why the delegate. This is why we were surprised about the meeting, because I had asked the delegate to be released too, because she started reaching out on my behalf, because I wasn't getting a response, and she started dealing with the
Who's
same
the
thing.
delegate?
Her name is Tonya.
Who?
Tonya.
To-
Tonya.
Tanya or
Yeah,
Tonya?
Tonya. Tonya. Tonya Mills.
Mills?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, I want to talk about, so it's good you did a rebuttal, so that can be in your file. That's a good move. Evaluations is not grievable, and I'm quite sure you know
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
So, you haven't received any counselings, let's just say after the meeting with Laura.
No.
No counselings.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Have
when you say counseling, you mean like being pulled in the office officially? No, what they started doing is just saying things in passing, but no real counseling. No.
now. And when you say in passing, what they be saying?
Like one time when they put in my review about the time, you know, before you leave for the day, you change out of your uniform. So I was on my way to lunch. 3 minutes before my lunch, I went to change out my uniform. They stopped.
You have to change out your clothes for lunch?
Well, I took my top off. I just take my top off, put on my other shirt, and then I go.
How long is your lunch?
It's an hour, 30 minutes. They take our 2 15-minute breaks.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Is that a problem for management?
Well, that day it was. And that's what I say. So they stopped me in the staff office in front of all the staff. And I was saying to John, I said, you know, it's funny. I was like, when people come in, the same thing in the morning or before you change out before you leave. And I said, you were on the staff as a PT for years before you became a manager. And one of the other PTs pointed it out to me too. I was like, you used to get up every day 10 minutes before your shift was out and go change out, and you still do it. But you're asking me about 3 minutes before my lunch break that I change my shirt to go to lunch. But you do the exact same thing. And I'm like, it's not making sense to me. So he's like, well, you know, I'm your manager and blah, blah. I said, I understand that, and that's fine. I said, but if you're going to question me about this, you need to question me in your office away from my peers. But you're questioning me in the staff office in front of all the other PTs about what's going on with my behavior or whatever's going on with me at work.
But what's the problem with it?
You have to ask them.
No, he brought it up. What was the issue? He did it in front of everybody. Why? No, not why he didn't. I want to know what was the objection. When a person says something like that, they give you a reason. It is not policy. What is it?
No, he didn't have it. That's the thing. I asked him, I said, what's the issue? I said, I'm not leaving early. I'm not stealing time. Oh, well, you're changing out. And I said, but what is the issue if it's part of the contract and it's the same thing that you do? And then he just looked at me.
What do you mean part of the contract?
So you know how, like, if you come in, what's one of those? What do they call it? Past practice. So people 5 minutes, 7 minutes before their shift, they go change out of their uniform, so on and so forth.
Yeah, but that means exit and entrance. I'm talking about a lunch break. Handsome. So what does that mean? You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't see people changing and clothes for lunch. I see them keep their scrubs on or whatever. If they're going outside, they put their clothes on because you're still on the clock. So, do you wear scrubs?
No, I have a uniform shirt. I just change out of my uniform shirt and put on my regular clothes. And that's literally that. 2 minutes before I go.
Did he say if you continue to do that, you will be disciplined?
That's what it always is. It's always, well, you know, they always say, it's not a write-up, we're not doing this, but in the future, it may lead up to disciplinary action.
Because you're not following a directive. Did he tell you directly, do not change your clothes for lunch?
No, they never said that.
When he did that in front of the staff,
No, he didn't say that.
he did not say do not?
Yeah.
Or did he have to say do that for you to understand it? Or did he say this is not customary for you to?
No, he didn't.
So why would it lead to disciplinary actions?
That's my point. That's my point. A lot of the things that they do make no sense. I have it on audio. You can listen to it. And when I
You record them constantly?
I had to start, yes. I had to start because the things that they were doing. And then they would literally say things and be like, oh, we didn't say that. And I'd be like, no, you literally said it. No, we didn't. Or every time I would come up with an issue that's going on, like people not answering the radio, and I'm like, you know, you keep coming to me telling me I'm not doing things, but I'm following the protocol, and there's a break in the system somewhere else. I'm telling you where it is, and you don't want to address it. Oh, we've never had this conversation before. And they literally were telling me that I was making up things in my mind, and that I was going crazy. This is what they were telling me. And it got to the point, it did start affecting me mentally. This is why I had to start doing that. I had to study the laws of the state to figure out what I could do, because every time I called Evelyn, she didn't want to help. And when I called HR, went through the process the first time, they told me that HR told them that everything was fine.
So, okay. What is your time of attendance now?
As far as how it is, everything's fine.
Okay. There's no issues. You're not coming in late. You're not calling out. You're there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. It is just your presence and you as your own individual person that you are, that you feel that they nitpick on every little thing.
Well, it started after I went to rehab. That's when it started. When I came back from rehab, that's when everything started. They started following me around the job, and the other staff would.
So they want to act like you got an issue after you came back. They watching you like a hawk.
And they themselves will say that I'm doing the best work I've done. They're saying that I'm better than I was before I even went to rehab, before I had the issue. So if you're telling me that my work is good, my work ethic is fine, my attitude is better than it's been in the last decade, why do you keep harassing me?
But what harassment?
Following me around work, telling me that I'm not doing things or I'm not doing my job correctly when I am. And
Okay.
it's just
Constant
it's
undermining statements you feel
Mhm.
that they make.
and trying to set false narratives, making it seem as though I'm aggressive.
And after LaBarca, you're saying that this still is going on?
It calmed down. It did calm down.
Good.
But like I said, when you get the review, it's the little things that are put in there, and it's like, well, we had a conversation about this, and what you're putting in, this is not what happened, because you're saying that I didn't do the job. I did exactly what was asked of me. What you're not putting in there is that you never updated the log books. So when I have to do this job, they want certain things done at certain times. So I have to open up and initial everything. So when I open up a book and the book says north side at 3:30, and I have to put my initials there, that's what I'm doing. You didn't update. You wanted the process changed, but you never updated the logbook. So when I opened it up 2 weeks later, I followed the instructions that you set forth in the logbook.
Oh, so they're dated on them updating. So how they gonna blame you when the process was delayed? I got you.
But it's in my review. And these are the things that I have to fight all the time, and I keep telling them.
No, there needs to be a conversation with that. So, your rebuttal, all of that. The question becomes, I'm gonna have to speak with the delegate, number one. Let me talk with Miss J.
And the thing with the delegate, when we had the first meeting, when they tried to make it about me and one of my coworkers, the coworker admitted to everything that they were doing at that time. As far as harassment, admitted to everything. And they told me during my review the previous year, when they tried to use that against me, I said, when we had the meeting, I'm like, the individual admitted to everything that was going on. I thought there was an investigation open. Oh no, we called HR and they said that it's over with. It's a matter of he say, she say. And that was it. Even though she admitted everything, but like I said, all I want to do.
But that's what I'm saying. Up until when Laura's intervention,
yes,
which did a lot.
Yes.
So my thing is, let's talk about how we're gonna move forward in the future, because a lot of that garbage has been swept away. My concern is for you, moving forward, because we can't go back in the past.
Yes, I just want to be treated fairly, that's it.
So,
judge me on my work ethic, what I'm doing, and how I'm treating everyone.
Yeah,
That's
I got you. I understand. I want you to also consider this too. That's all I want is this. See, as human beings, management is human beings too. They make flaws. However, my concern is only yours. They're gonna learn how to get better, but management has to put them in their place. For you, I want you to work on not being so sensitive to everything. You gotta enjoy life.
And that's the thing, I do enjoy life. I really do. And I'm not even gonna say, I was sensitive before. I'll tell you that. I gotten out of my emotions about it. I'm just not gonna tolerate disrespect anymore.
I hear you.
That's all it is.
I got you. I just want you to, when you are in something you're fighting for a minute, and then not just that fight, but the battle of self-resurrection.
That's why
Self-resurrection is a blessing, and everybody don't always rise out of it well.
And that's why I fought so hard.
I hear you.
I went through so much that I went through that self-destructive phase.
Yes.
And so I spoke about the Lord in that day. I know she got you through that. So I went through that and I saw it. So I removed myself from everything in my life that was negative, and I focused.
Only on positive energy, sir.
That's it. So
Because
I
that's the only
focused,
thing you can have in your space.
and that's what I did. So got myself rehab, got myself clean, did shadow work. I worked on the loss of my wife. I finally, because I didn't even grieve that, and I didn't realize that I didn't grieve it.
Yeah.
So I finally got that out of me. You know, I sat in that house by myself, learned how to meditate, taught myself how to meditate. I even found and understood, because at the time I had no belief systems at all. I'm atheist, right? The universe talked to me, and God let me know, like, no, dum dum, don't be stupid. I'm here, and I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I picked myself up with the people that were there, that were supporting me, and that the conscious, divine energy of the universe, the Holy Spirit, whatever, everyone calls something different.
That's right.
But whatever you want to call it,
Yeah, I got it.
it was there. I felt it and made its
Good.
presence known. And ever since then, I've been working on being the best version of myself. And that's why I say, I tell people all the time, even when things like this happen now, and it feels like in the moment, like, oh, it's bad, blah, blah, I be like, it's not bad to me anymore. Because what I understand is that this is a life
Correct.
lesson.
I want you to be able to bounce
Yeah.
those things.
I'm learning something from it.
Undercurrent statements. Let me tell you something. You can get that vibe out here in this crazy world. This world is crazy right now. You know, a person could look at you and make poor judgment. One looking over there like cleaned up soup, be the first one to shoot you in the head. You feel where I'm coming from?
I know it because I've lived it. And that's why I learned also. People, you never know what someone's going through.
No.
And that's why now when people say certain things to me, I don't even react initially. Because
I don't want to understand what they mean that you don't interact with your coworkers. What the hell does that mean to you? Explain that to me, please. I mean, you come to work to do a job, so interact means what?
That's what.
Sometimes the less said, the better.
And the thing is
Because if you're going to misinterpret everything I say,
what's the use of me talking? And I kind of have to defend myself.
Yeah. So I mean, where do you? What's on the 5th floor?
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
in Tisch?
No, LOC on 38th Street. It's been TMC, LOC.
Is that where ACC is?
Down the street from the ACC.
All right, is that
Between 1st and 2nd.
240 38th Street?
No, 333.
So, okay, so on 38th Street, there's multiple buildings?
Yeah, you have the ambulatory care right on the corner, and then right next to it is 333, which is more on the 4th, 5th, and 6th floor. And then the one on the corner is on the 1st floor.
Okay. Okay. I haven't gotten to all the sites because I have an enormous area. And I'm gonna try in 2024 to come to the sites. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Do meet and greets, have the organizers set up a room where the members can come and meet me and they can see me, meet me. And that's gonna take some planning, but that's what my goal is. I've always been an organizer and for a long time. So I still have those organizer ways where I like to be and come in the shops and see, you know, the areas that I've had when I come to visit, the members are so happy to see me because they've had me for so many years. I'd like to have that relationship with NYU. And it's gonna take me a minute before I retire.
Yeah.
Because I'm about ready now, but they gave me this job and I didn't want to leave it without me trying to move some things forward. So, you know, the members are not going to have me long, but I want to be able to make the members feel valued in this union. So that's my goal.
I think that makes a big difference.
It does.
Just seeing the presence, seeing the person, feeling the energy, it makes a difference.
Yes,
and
it
that
does.
is lacking.
Yes, and I think so. My observation. So I'm going to work on that. For me, that's my personal goal as an officer. So what I'm going to tell you, another thing, even past your rehab, now, are you still having conversations or support from somebody? Okay, like therapists or?
Every Wednesday. every day.
When you keep it up?
Oh, I ain't doing that. That's part of my
Process.
journey, my process, keeping myself in check, and as crazy as it's gonna sound.
No.
So I used to sometimes think like certain things happen. Like people always say bad thing, wrong place, wrong time, and I don't believe that anymore. Everything happens for a reason. And like now, everything I went through up to now, like the therapist I have now, himself is also a recovering addict, and I didn't know that when I met him. As soon as we started talking, you know, everything's come out. I finally opened up to him. That was the first person I was able to open up to. And once I did, and that came out my mouth, he started telling me his story, and it was like we have a mutual understanding already. So the
And
moments when I
it's
get
not a
weak,
prejudgment of the
yeah,
room.
and the moments
Someone
I get
you can
weak,
relate to.
and what's weird is that without even, I basically ended up with a sponsor without ever even looking for one. And so I know the universe is taking care of me. That's why I continue to just get up every day, no matter how I'm feeling. I put a smile on my face. I throw everything in my world, in my universe, on my back, and we keep it moving. And I'm not letting that
When you keep in your process of talking, because see, sometimes talking to people, it's just about somebody listening. And everybody don't know how to listen to people without taking it offensively or without, prejudging the person. Just let the person talk. Get it out. Once it's dumped, that person changes with you and that person in the room. And so then we move on to another issue. And my thing is, I want to see how you're going to move forward. I need you to let this crap go. I really do. Holding on to it, I can't help you get where you gotta go. So, I'm gonna talk with Laura and Evelyn and my boss. I need to speak with the delegate in the department as well. I wanna come visit your area. Don't look for me for December. I have 4 negotiations that I'm in. All right, so I've got a mother down south that I need to go see. Okay, but I'm just letting you know, you're gonna see me come in your area.
Just the fact that you're taking time to sit down with me lets me know that already.
Oh, and I appreciate that.
And
I kept saying to Laura, I don't wanna kick the can down the road. You promised him something, let's make that promise come true.
And the last time she and I spoke, because, at first I was being impatient, and that's what made me dig deeper and get out of my emotions. And that's something that the universe is teaching me. You have to be patient and give time for everything to do what it needs to do. And that's why I just focus on other things, like keeping myself mentally sound, physically sound, and
work
when
on
those
not
things
getting
come,
on social
they'll
media.
come.
Okay? You get on it, that's your privilege. I ain't telling you not to. Just be cautious of your delivery when you're on it, because that causes prejudgment too. And it looks like a venting outlet. So everybody doesn't take that well.
You know what? And I understand that, and that's why I said when we first sat down, I said it bothered me that I had to get to that extent, because I had to do that to get anyone to even take me serious. And the thing is, they weren't taking me serious; they just didn't like what I was saying, and the avenue where I was saying it. Because up until that point, nobody wanted to hear nothing I had to say.
Let me be honest with you on that one. It could raise concerns for everybody. Because that's how I knew who you were.
Because I was rocking the boat.
You was rocking more than the boat. The
No,
steering wheel, you was kicking cans off that damn boat. You was doing your thing. And I ain't mad at you.
But this is the thing.
But I'm just saying, it raised more than just, you rocked the boat. You know I'm not going to dispute you on that. But it raised a whole lot of other concerns.
But my question is, why did
the suppression of not addressing you also added to that. And that's what I got out of it.
That's the only reason it happened, because I went to HR once.
Yes.
And they did nothing. I went back around the same loop. I followed the chain of command twice. It wasn't until the second. Put it to you this way. This been going on 6 years. And I've been doing it. Finally, I decided about 2 years ago to take a stand.
And after you came from rehab, right? And they know all the things you went through, the loss of your wife, this, that, and the other. See, they started looking at you as you was going off on the deep end.
but I wasn't. And I told them that. And I'm like,
But you coming to work.
but they're pushing me and they're doing the things that they're doing. And then they're wondering why when I tell them, like, yo, you're harassing me. You're letting patients come in here and tell me that they don't want to see me and a coworker because we're black and we send us home. And it's like, okay, fine, we do it. Don't complain about it. But no matter what happens, you keep telling me I'm wrong, even when I'm not doing anything wrong. And you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And all I was asking was, just leave me alone, let me do my job. And that's why, and I do agree with you because.
So what we're gonna need to do also, and I feel you need, and I gotta figure this one out, because I think that, well, I need to speak with the department, or have the delegates set something up, so I can come to your facility and see your management. They need to know that you have a VP, okay? So, I don't know when I'm gonna set it up, but it'll be deep in January. And I want it to be a meet and greet, okay, for them. And if there is something you want to add at that visit, when I ask for an agenda, you supply it for me.
Yes, ma'am. I'll make sure to get it to you beforehand, if there's anything that I want to add.
Yeah, you, let's make that happen. And this is my information. It's always best to text me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Because I'm in constant meeting. I'm extremely busy, I ain't gonna lie.
I understand.
But I want you to know that there is still someone out there in that universe, you understand what I'm saying,
Yes, ma'am.
that cares,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, don't overwhelm me with too much documents,
I'm on.
but,
In fact, if there's nothing new outside of what happened,
yes.
it's not. I'm never gonna bother.
Well, but I'm just saying, we and you, we can have our powwow and conversations every 3 months if that's needed. We'll set a time to do that, and I don't have a problem with that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's do our little wellness check. How about that?
Sounds fun.
All right. Sometimes you have to do that with some of the members. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is unique in their own way.
I've been fine because I know how important that is,
Yes.
and I just want them to just let me do what I got to do.
Hi, Miss Joyce. Hello, Miss Joyce. Yes. Yeah, he's here. Yes, me and him is fine. I'm almost finished with him. I'm gonna escort him to downstairs, and me and him is gonna have our little wellness checks every 3 months by phone. That's what I've agreed to do with him, and I told him that in January, sometime I'm gonna come to his facility and meet the members as well as his managerial staff that he works with. Okay, all right. That's quite all right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's my boss, making sure that I met with you. All right, so this is good.
I thank you so much for the time.
You're very
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
I know you do. And I'm here. Okay?
I know, thank you. I thank you again.
Now you give me
I
a hug,
will
sir.
See you. Talk to you soon.
All righty now.
And I will make sure to keep myself regulated.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay?
Hey, don't come out drunk, but that's I'm already.